What's up, everyone? Welcome back.
Hey guys.
We're talking today. Tell them, Steven. Let's make a confession.
Yeah.
What's the confession?
Actually, guys, I spray pesticides all over my crops. I kill all the bugs.
He's a filthy conventional farmer.
Oh, no.
He's disgusting. He disgusts me. I found this out and I said, why do I even hang out with him?
The truth is out.
The truth is out.
No, actually, we're going to be making natural pesticides and natural nutrients.
Yes.
So we're talking about worm tea. And if you guys want to know how to make worm tea, go check out my video. I've got an in-depth video about how to actually create this. It's super simple.
It'll be down in the description. Go subscribe to his channel for that kind of stuff.
And so we're gonna show you how to just put it in the sprayer, how to dilute it, and then we're gonna display how to spray it on the crops and some different techniques. So I've got a 5-gallon sprayer, and there's different dilutions that people do, but they do it anywhere from like a ratio of 1:3 to 1:5. Some people super dilute their stuff.
So if you were to spray this on undiluted, would you get some sort of nutrient burn, or what would be going on?
Yeah, it's possible. I've never had it happen. I make my tea like a little bit diluted in the brewer already.
Okay.
It's already a little diluted. Like you can see, like watch the stream. A lot of people's is a lot darker.
That's pretty light, yeah.
It's pretty light already. So like I could probably just spray this, but I'm gonna dilute it. I'm just gonna, since it's so light, I'll put 2 gallons of tea and then I'll just do the rest water.
And so we're doing this to foliar feed the plants, right?
Yep.
So feeding through the leaves, basically through the stomata, I think, of the leaves. You couldn't only feed a plant that way, but it's a fantastic way to supplement, right?
Totally. And yeah, and it's a great thing to do on young fruit trees or plants that haven't developed a ton of root structure where they have access to those nutrients.
Sure.
It's awesome. It's awesome for disease and pest prevention as well. And then I'm going to show you guys how you can spray so that you're kind of taking full advantage of the nutrients and taking full advantage of the pest prevention ability.
And so why does foliar feeding or foliar spraying a worm tea prevent pests? What's going on there?
Basically, there's like 2 things going on. So you're physically spraying the bugs off, especially with aphids.
Okay.
They like to stick on there. One of the most effective things for aphids is just literally to spray them off with water. They just, damages their population so much that it's hard for them to kind of regain a presence. You're also, what's in this tea is a ton of bacteria, fungal growth, and all of that. So that has kind of an effect on some of those insects. They don't like what's going on with the tea, so they get out of there. So I guess those 2 factors. Do your own research. There's a lot more going on with this. This is something that I do, but I don't have super in-depth knowledge about it. There's some people out there that there's so much science behind this and everything. You can go really deep, or you can kind of stay more surface level of your knowledge. Either way, you can still use this really effectively to treat disease and add nutrients.
Got it. Cool.
When you're making tea, you're trying to proliferate bacteria and fungi, right? And what is detrimental to that? Chlorine. What's in the city water? Chlorine. So one way to get the chlorine out of your water is to just put the water in your brewer, let it sit for 24 hours, and all the chlorine will actually dissipate and evaporate out of the water. If you have some bubblers that oxygenate, then you can just run the bubblers, and you can wait like 12 hours and the chlorine should come out of there. Now I have it's the Boogie Blue Plus filter on my watering system. So that filters out 99% or something of chlorine and chloramide and those different factors that kill bacteria. So I can add directly to my tea, and I'm not worried about the chlorine killing any of the bacteria.
Yeah, because if you went straight in, you would basically just be undoing all the work that those bacteria are doing in that worm tea brewer right there.
That's right. So
which would be proliferate. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's big in hydroponics too. Is make sure you get the chlorine out of the water. Chloramine, if you have chloramine, you can use something like a Campton tablet that'll dissolve it really quickly.
Oh wow!
Because I learned that chloramine will not degas.
Wow.
So you have to use something like that. But a lot of city water systems don't have chloramine anymore. So that's a little interesting little tip that I learned the hard way, let's just say that. All right, we are almost ready here.
All right, filling it up to like 4 gallons. So I did like a 50-50 dilution.
Yep. And since your tea is already somewhat diluted, that's more than enough.
I'm not worried about nutrient burn or any other issues, and it's pretty hard to damage your plants with worm tea.
Yeah.
I would have to brew an insanely strong batch.
Yeah.
But some people do recommend for like pest prevention a stronger brew, like a more intense concentration can have a better effect on pests.
Interesting.
Which is kind of interesting. I haven't played with that enough to say if that's true or not. Keep researching.
Got it. Strapping it up.
All right, so this thing's a little heavy, but here we go.
All right.
This is a Champion backpack sprayer. You can get them on Amazon. We'll have a link for you guys.
Yep.
So you've got your wand here, your spray wand. You can twist this to get a different type of spray. You know, you got, of course, your handle to turn it on and off. And then this is the pump. So this pressurizes the tank, and then it creates a spray.
Okay.
Sorry.
I just got blasted.
You got some good nutrients on you, man.
I just got Foliar fed. All right, let's take it out to the yard. Guys, if you hang out with Stephen Cornett and he's Foliar feeding a yard, he will also Foliar feed your face.
That's right.
Just so you know. All right?
I don't mess around.
He does not mess around.
So when you're spraying, you want to spray the top of the leaves and definitely the underside.
Right, because that's where all the pests like to hide out.
Yeah, totally. And you know, on the underside of the leaf, there's a little bit less protection on the leaf, so you'll get better absorption. Okay, so I'll, to show you quickly, this is what I would do.
Quick and dirty, right? Nothing too intense.
No, and this will take me like an hour and a half to spray my whole yard.
And how often are you doing that?
I'm trying to do it like 2 weeks to once a month, and I feel like that's pretty good.
Have you noticed something really obvious after foliar feeding? Like, is there a really significant change you noticed?
Yeah, I'd say there's a brightening of the color of the crop. If something has had pest problems, I notice it goes away. And I believe it's because, when you have a cold or a flu, and you take a bunch of vitamin C and you're eating really healthy, that really helps to knock out whatever virus is in your system. And in my opinion, that's the same thing that's going on with the plants.
Got it.
So this is a probiotic vitamin mineral boost. That's what this is. It's not a fertilizer. And so let's find one that has aphids. So here we go. So this plant has some aphids on it, you can see.
Let me get in there. You got some aphids right there. You can see them. It's a little gray, fuzzy stuff.
So what we can do is physically spray them off. This is one of the most effective organic methods for getting aphids. So I'm just gonna hit them. And still on there.
There's a good amount of them off. I mean, it's not going to be 100% perfect.
It's not going to be 100%. And if I go like that to it now, they're pretty good.
Yeah, this is almost 100% off now. And aphids, once they're off the plant, they sort of are done, right?
Yeah, it's hard for them to come back.
It's very hard for them to get back on the plant and start feeding again, from my understanding.
Yeah, we just want to take, give them a little bit of a beating, then they'll have problems spreading. So what's happening here is they started on one of these plants that was weaker, and now they've spread to this plant. I can tell they're on here. They will typically attack the center of the plant where the leaves are most young. So you want to get sure and spray all in there. Now, if I notice that this plant continues to be attacked and reaches a point of no return, I will actually pull this plant out of the ground. If you see a plant that's getting overrun by a disease or a pest, it's much better just to take the loss, pull the plant out of there and get it out. So you can stop the disease, stop the aphids in their tracks.
Yep. And is that something you would then throw in your compost?
I usually feed it to my chickens, actually.
Oh, because they'll eat the bugs, right?
They'll eat the bugs
Interesting.
off. They take care of it, and then whatever else is composted.
Got it.
So like you can see now, they're feeding on all of the scraps from yesterday's market.
Because if you were to throw, let's say you didn't have chickens, right? Which is probably most people.
Yeah.
Would it be okay to then throw any sort of like pest infested plant into a compost because it's going to die eventually?
So, most people recommend that you don't put disease or pest-ridden stuff into compost. And I think that they recommend that a lot of times because people aren't getting their compost hot enough to kill everything. So I would say if you know what you're doing and you've consistently raised temperatures high enough, you can get away with it. But if you're worried about the risk of spreading anything, I just stay away from it. Compost it in your gardening trash bin and just move on.
Yep.
But if you know you're confident enough in your composting skills, you can get away with it and you can do it.
Okay, cool. That's pretty much been my understanding too.
Yeah, that works good.
All right, so we're just going to finish this off, and that's a pretty simple guide on something that I think a lot of people don't do. Foliar feeding is a relatively uncommon technique that gardeners are using. I don't even see a lot of market gardeners talk about it too much.
And this is part of my pest prevention. I use 0 pesticides
Yep.
on my farm. 0, not BT. I don't use spinosad. Any of like the larva attacking.
So you're not,
pesticides.
you're not even using an organic
Nothing.
certified product.
Yeah.
You're using, absolutely nothing
zero.
but natural systems at work.
Yes, that's my. That's why my company's called Nature's Always Right.
Nature's Always Right.
This is how I do it. And,
Yep.
And I've been here a year and a half, and it's proof positive that it does work. The other farm that I helped start and worked on for a couple years, he farms using this very similar systems and styles. And 6 years later, his soil is so good and so incredible. He hardly ever gets pests ever. He never has to spray anything.
Yeah, this is better than organic.
It's beyond organic.
It's beyond organic or more organic. I've seen people call it.
Yes. It gets tricky at the farmer's market when they ask me if I'm organic. I usually have to talk crap on the USDA organic program.
Yeah.
Because they use pesticides.
Exactly. I believe that there's 42 or 43 that you're certified to use.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
But they are safer. They don't really interact with human biology.
Yeah.
But hey, you're killing off beneficials.
Yep.
There's negative consequences that we are not fully understanding because we will never fully understand nature.
There you go.